Hey, Fredericton, this is Steve from Our Lady Peace, and you are with Crash on the Fox.
Fredericton's Best Rock, 105.3 The Fox. Superman's Dead from Our Lady Peace, headliner for this year's Fred Rock Festival happening on July 31st over the Loyalist Rugby Field. I managed to get Steve Major, a guitarist from Our Lady Peace, on the phone, and actually I played that song from Clumsy, Steve, because, well, it was that tour, the Clumsy tour, was the last time Our Lady Peace was actually playing in this city.
My God, that's horrible. We haven't been, that means that I maybe have never been to Fredericton because I wasn't in the band back then.
That's true, pathetic. Yeah. So this will be your first time to get to play in front of the Fredericton crowd.
Oh, man, we should be there every year. That's horrible.
I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting, too, to see maybe the people that have been to the show when the band last played, to see maybe the evolution of the band over the years. Because I'm sure even with you, you're nearing 10 years as the guitarist, right?
Yeah, and even where we are now compared to where we were in 2002 when I first joined is way different. So, yeah, it's funny, and I'm still forever the new guy, even though it's been almost 10 years. And they're like, yeah, it's been like 9 years now, you know?
Yeah, like, I'm a vet now, come on.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right
it's funny, because I've heard Fredericton so many times, maybe, that's why I'm surprised we've never been there, but I'm sure I'd remember it, because I love the Maritimes. And it's funny, on this last tour we did for our new record, Burn Burn, we actually had a routing that had Newfoundland and Fredericton. It was Fredericton instead of Moncton, I think.
Oh, really?
And Halifax and Quebec City. And our agents we just couldn't get the routing to work out, so we ended up doing, like, Halifax and going straight to Montreal. And we had, like, 6 shows in, so I'm glad we're coming there, because it's been a while.
Yeah, and your most recent tour, that was the one you did, you're speaking of the one where you did Clumsy and Spiritual Machines in its entirety, right?
Yes.
How did that come about? Is that just because you wanted to do it? You brought that on, right?
When it came time to do our Canadian tour for this new record, our last record, Burn Burn, we just kind of felt like we wanted to do something different. You know, we'd been across Canada so many times and done the big, hockey arena in every city, which is great, an awesome experience. And we just felt like it was time to maybe change it up a little bit for this tour. So we'd always talked about doing a tour or maybe a string of shows in Toronto or somewhere where we played a record in its entirety. And I had recently seen Devo, who I love, in Los Angeles. They played 2 nights, and, each night they played a different record in its entirety. And we were kind of talking about that and talking about what we should do for Canada. And someone said, well, what if we did full album performance? What if we did 2 records and did 2 nights in every city and do theaters instead of, like, the big places, a little more of an intimate thing, and we'll do a whole record, then we'll come out and do another show. It'll be a whole evening with just us. And we all just got really excited about it. And when you're excited about something, that's a good sign. So we went with it, and it ended up being great, like probably our most favorite tour ever. It was great.
I'm sure rehearsals must have been a little tough. Some of those songs that haven't been played, especially off of Clumsy.
Oh man, we haven't worked that hard in a while. It was a labor of love, because for me, both those records are amazing, and Spiritual Machines especially has kind of a special place in my heart. So, a lot of times it was some hard work to get those songs to come across with the 4 of us, because we don't use tracks or samples really or anything. Yeah,
because those both of those albums are very layered in, especially Spiritual Machines, with all of the concept stuff behind it too. And I think that album essentially kind of underappreciated, if you will.
Oh, I totally agree. Like, that's probably my favorite Our Lady Peace record, and it didn't sell well. So, as a band and your management and record label, everybody, when something doesn't sell well, you kind of view it as a bit of a failure, but really artistically that record is far from a failure.
Oh, totally. And actually, I'm going to play In Repair from Spiritual Machines right now. More with Steve Major of Our Lady Peace right after that, where we'll discuss what it's like for Our Lady Peace to be an indie band again, and Steve's penchant for karaoke. Redrickton's Best Rock, 105.3 The Fox. Our Lady Peace Within Repair from Spiritual Machines. It's Crash with you. Been talking to Steve Major of the band. And we mentioned just before that song how that album essentially didn't really sell that well, and so kind of considered a disappointment amongst like management and the label and stuff like that. But now, you guys don't really have to worry about that sort of thing. You kind of cut that all loose. You're essentially an indie band again. Is that true?
Yeah, that's exactly true, and it's very cool. It's kind of mom and pop operation at this point.
Does that make it a lot easier for you guys in the studio? I know with Burn Burn, you guys, you know, Rain kind of produced it, and you guys kind of took care of all that stuff yourself. How's that different from maybe working with, well, you had Bob Rock on the other two albums? And
yeah, that part of it actually was really great. I mean, working with Bob was great, and that was awesome. You know, there's no one right or wrong way to make a record, and I think the only thing that you want to do is you want to make it different. You never want to make the same record twice. It's good and healthy to change it up, and it was a little weird at first going like, how is this going to work with us producing ourselves?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's always good to have that, you know, other person, you know, the producer who has that outside opinion and isn't as attached to the music. But we sort of found ways of doing that, you know, detaching ourselves on our own, and it worked out really great. And because, you know, we're really lucky as a band, you can say what you want about major labels, you know, the current trend is kind of to diss them, but, you know, because of major labels, Our Lady Peace was able to work with people like Arnold Lanni and Bob Rock, and you know, we sat back and took in a lot from those people, and we learned a lot from them. And so now we're able to make records on our own, at least we think, because, you know, we paid attention to, you know, all the wisdom that those guys had. And we kind of get to reap the rewards of all that stuff now. We have a fan base, and we have knowledge on how to get in the studio on our own, so we're very lucky for sure.
Yeah. Do you find you guys are a better band now because of that? Because like Healthy and Paranoid Times, you guys came close to breaking up, right?
Yeah, that was a real difficult record to make, and you know, you kind of learn. We kind of went through some stuff on that record that enabled us to get to the point that we got to in making Burn Burn.
Good for you guys. That's a good feat to have as a band, carrying on like that. So.
Oh, we're lucky, man. We have great fans and good support across Canada and the U.S. and yeah, we're definitely psyched to come to Fredericton, man. Especially you guys playing and stuff. That's great.
Yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it. It's only a couple of weeks now until you're here, so I have tickets to give away to go along with this interview. So.
Oh, killer! Yeah. It's only the second one of this festival. Huh?
Yeah. Last year it was a rough weekend just because it poured rain. Last year was such a wet summer, but this year we're looking forward to better weather and a better turnout and stuff too. So, and I think you guys being one of the headliners certainly going to help that. So.
Oh, we're honored to be there, especially if it's only the second one. Killer.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good, I think. I do want to ask you one more thing though before I let you go. I follow you on Twitter. I just recently did that, and I saw something there, and I had to ask you: do you make a habit of doing Beyonce songs at karaoke?
Oh man, you know what? I don't know if I've ever. I think that was only the second time in my life where I've done karaoke, and it was kind of our end of the tour party. And oh man, all I can say is alcohol. You know, can do things to you. Hey, you know what? She's got some great songs. What can I say? I don't know if I love the way she actually sings.
Yeah.
All the time, but she's got some amazing songs, and hey man, whether it's Beyonce or Pantera, if it's good, it's good, you know?
So what you're saying is if we feed you a few drinks at Fred Rock, you might end up doing a cover on stage, is that?
It's not impossible, but it's probably highly unlikely.
Fair enough, that's fair.
On the Fox.